So this is something that a lot of players do wrong, and it's something very simple that, how do you fill a pod? How is it that is the proper way to do it? So when you're actually filling your pod, one, you want to make sure that you have good pods. Make sure that they are clean. If you don't have just something that you can clean it out with, then I think I've used like towels before or whatever, but you just don't want to have dirt inside there, something that might break, might go into your gun, scratch up the breech, or might cause the ball to break inside your barrel, things like that. Okay, so when you actually are filling your pod, you're going to take your pod, take your bag of paint. Now, if you're using a guppy or something like that, that's fine. You're going to fill it. So there is a little bit above the line there. So you can see I got a little bit extra. Put your hand over the top, kind of shake it down, so that way it can kind of settle. Now, if they are still a little bit above, that's okay. What you want is that when you close the pod, there's a little bit of pressure, and that way when you shake it, you're not going to hear the balls rattling around. Why is that an issue? Well, think about when you have your pod in your pack and you go and take a hard dive. With tournament paint, it's going to break inside of your pod here, and that's not going to be good, because then you're going to be dumping broken paint into your gun. That's just going to cause a whole bunch of other issues. Also, when you are running, if no one can hear you running, it's going to be beneficial to you that they can't hear you coming when you are on your way to go bunker them, or if you're trying to get into a spot. Let's say that, I don't know if you can hear that. Let's say that you do get the maraca. Sometimes all you need to do is just take one or two extra balls, put them into the pod there, and kind of close it, and that should solve the issue. If you're still getting maracas, sometimes you just need to put your hand back over it and shake it. Maybe a ball is rattling around in there. See, like, there's a little bit in there. I would go and grab another ball, put it in there. Make sure that you are not overpacking the pod, which just means that you really have to slam it down, because that is going to break paint in the top of the pod, or in like near the top here. So you want to make sure that you have this balance where there's a little bit of pressure, but it's not going to be too much pressure. And you'll kind of learn how that is, but you want it to be that you can shake it and you don't hear anything, and then that way you know that you are going to be good on the field. If you hear a little bit of movement, like I said with this one, I would add another one or two balls, and then that way it's not going to get that maraca in there. So although this is a very simple thing, it's something that a lot of players do wrong. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. I call them maracas. So if I ever do a clinic and you're at it or whatever, and you hear me saying, why do you have maracas? That's what I'm talking about. You don't want to have maracas on the field. There's nothing wrong with Spanish heritage. I am Cuban, but on the paintball field, we want to not be heard. Technically. So that is how to properly fill a paintball pod. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you go ahead and do that. Be sure to like this video. And do you have any other tips that you'd like to see, or you want help on, or anything like that? Be sure to leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. But as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.